Hello everyone, Drew here, back with another video. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day. And before we do hop into today's video, please remember to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and keep in mind you can always unsubscribe as well. And while you're at it, please drop a like on today's video. It really helps this video to get shared with other people. And with all of that being said, let's hop into today's video. So today's video is on Starly Control. This deck hasn't been that popular, but people have been posting videos on it on YouTube, so I figured I might as well hop on the bandwagon and do a deck profile on it as well. And to be fair, it's an extremely fun way to play Control, super unique. The general idea is to, in the early game, use Starly's Keen Eye attack, search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This attack is basically Steven's Resolve, but for 1 less card. The good thing about Starly overall is the Sky Circuit's ability, meaning if you played a Bird Keeper during your turn, and Bird Keeper is an extremely good supporter overall, you can use Keen Eye for free, which is definitely very cool. So essentially, you get to draw 3 cards, and basically for drawing 3 cards, you get any 2 cards you want out of the deck, which is definitely very good. And if you don't get to play Bird Keeper for your turn, you can also attach Twin Energy. Keen Eye only does cost 2 energy cards, so we can basically have access to any 2 cards whenever we want, which is definitely very cool. And in the early game, you can grab things like your hammers, more Bird Keepers, Galar Mines to annoy your opponent by bossing things up, stuff like that. And in the late game, you want to go into your dolls whenever your opponent has exhausted a lot of their resources, and continuously use Munchlax's Snack Search ability to recover any card you want from the discard pile, and essentially continue looping dolls and stuff like that. And that's the general idea. Late game, Munchlax is what makes this deck viable. Without Munchlax, this deck would not be a thing. And in order to defeat the ADPZ matchup, we play the Persian with Make 'em Pay. Basically, whenever our opponent uses Intrepid Sword, we can discard a bunch of cards from their hand. We can discard Switches, Marnies, stuff like that. So Persian, definitely very good overall. We play a 3-2 line of Meowth and Persian. And we also play the one of Bunnelby. I haven't personally used Bunnelby. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's in this list. So the general idea is the reason Bunnelby is in here is for the Burrow attack. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck. I guess if you ever get to that point where your opponent's 1 card away from decking out, you can use it. But overall, I feel like using Munchlax is always better. So I'm not entirely sure on the Bunnelby inclusion, to say the least. We also play one of Absol to basically stall our opponent's active in case they bump our Galar Mines. Absol is sort of like our insurance policy, really helps us out in certain scenarios. We play 2 of Jirachis, Jirachi just being really helpful in being able to search out early resources that we need. And Jirachi definitely synergizes really well with Bird Keeper. You can Stellar Wisp and then Bird Keeper into your doll, so Jirachi definitely pretty cool. We play one of Mew to protect our bench. If our opponent's playing something like Venom Shot Naganadel, it can be really annoying if they continue to snipe shot our Munchlaxes, so Mew definitely very good in this deck. We play 4 hammers, 4 dolls, pretty much expected, 1 ordinary rod, 1 Pal Pad, 2 Pokégears to help search out our supporters for turn, 2 Pokécom, and 4 Quick Ball to help search out our Pokemons. We also play 2 Yell Horns. Yell Horns are extremely good in this deck. If there was more room, I might even bump the count up to 3, because Yell Horns really annoy your opponent and basically force them to flip a coin in order to see if they attack or not. Yell Horn makes it so that it's possible for us to have an extra turn to work with, and Yell Horn really game changing in this deck, to say the least. We play 2 Galar Mines, 1 Wondrous Labyrinth, 4 Bird Keeper, 3 Boss. Again, the idea is to boss something in the active and make it stay in the active for the rest of the game with the help of Galar Mine and Absol. So 3 boss definitely validated in this deck. We played 2 Cynthia and Caitlin to help recover things like Will and Bird Keepers and bosses and things like that. We played 2 Surge, 2 Research, and 2 Wills. Will is definitely very good. Will guarantees the heads on hammers and the heads on snack search if you choose to do so. So Will basically allows you to recover whatever card you want from the discard pile onto the top of your deck. You can even recover a Will by playing a Will. So essentially, you can never deck out if you don't prize a Will, because you can Will, snack search, choose heads, and then Will again. And then put Will back on top of the deck. You top deck Will, and then you continue the cycle. So that's definitely very cool. We play 1 air balloon because we need to attach an air balloon to a Munchlax in order to retreat it when Galar Mine is in play. And air balloon serves as a really efficient way to do so. We play 1 recycle energy and 4 twin energies. Yeah, pretty straightforward deck. Really fun deck. And let's hop into some games. Alright, so hopping into our first game against Emmer x Padilla. Good luck to him or her. And I'm still pretty torn on whether or not to go first or second with this deck. My opinion is that you normally do want to go second because you do want to get that turn 1 keen eye, but I do see merit for going first. I'm going to opt to go second here, see what we're up against, and also going second allows us to play around things like Volcanion, which has been gaining popularity recently, so I like going second personally. But in the ADP's matchup, normally ADPC wants to go first, and look, we're up against Volcanion. Alright, good thing we chose to go second. Like I said, we do play around the turn 1 Flare Starter, essentially making it so that our opponent has to waste another turn. And it looks like we're up against Green Zard, I think, or Break Zard, I should say. But in a way, Green Zard as well. There's a Pokégear from our opponent. Yeah, definitely great thing we decided to go second here. I haven't played against Green Zard with Starly Control. I think I played it like once, but yeah, I certainly don't have enough knowledge in this matchup to say whether or not we have the advantage or not. So this will be exciting. Let's start off by benching the doll. Quick ball away the Mew. Mew's not going to be that useful in this matchup. Our opponent doesn't really play, unless our opponent plays Cramorant, which is highly unlikely. Mew's not ever going to be useful. So I think I'm just going to opt to grab a Meowth here. Meowth feels pretty good. Something to note is that our opponent also did not attach turn 1, meaning they will not be able to pull off the turn 2 Brilliant Flare, which is a pretty good for us. And I honestly think Meowth is going to be pretty good in this matchup because our opponent searches their deck for any 3 cards they want, puts them into their hand, and then we can just discard them with Meowth, essentially. So I'm going to grab the Meowth here. I'm going to go for the Stellar Wish, looking for a Bird Keeper. No Bird Keeper to work with, unfortunately. This is sort of rough. Definitely would have loved to see a Bird Keeper there. I think I'm just going to go with the I'm gonna go with the Yell. I'm gonna grab the Yell Horn here. We definitely could opt to confuse our opponent's active Volcanion, but I don't know how optimal that's gonna be. They have the greens in hand. I think I'm just gonna hold off and pass over to our opponent. I'm not gonna play the Yell Horn. I could have and possibly prevented them from using Flare Starter, but then they could have just played around that with green. So I feel like it's better to hold off on playing the Yell Horn. There's the greens exploration from our opponent, as expected. They'll probably grab a Welder for next turn, I would imagine. Probably another greens, maybe, if they want to do so. Yeah, let's just see what our opponent grabs. They'll probably grab a Hearth. We do have access to 2 Galar Mines in hand, which is definitely very cool. We can bump our opponent's hearts and make it hard on them to have access to fire energy, which is definitely very nice. So our opponent's taking their time with the green exploration. There's the Giant Heart, there's the Welder. Alright, that's expected. They might just opt to go with the Flare Starter here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do so. Because they can just thin the deck that way. They can basically just attach and then Flare Starter and essentially thin the deck out. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably what our opponent's going to do. Yep, there's the attachment to the active. As expected, there's the Flare Starter. Yeah, like I said, good thing we decided to go second because our opponent had to waste a turn using Flare Starter, and that's really good for us. So let's start off with the Stellar Wish, I guess, looking for a Bird Keeper. There's the Bird Keeper. Alright, that's really good. And I think we're gonna Bird Keeper into the Starly. We could risk going into the Meowth and possibly discarding their Welder from their hand, but I think the chances of us drawing into an Energy, a Persian, and I think the chances of us drawing into an Energy and a Persian are not that high. So I'm just gonna opt to go into the Starly here. Grab a couple of more pieces. Let's see. I'm definitely going to throw down the Galar Mine because we definitely don't want our opponent to have access to more fire energies. I think I can hold off from benching the second Meowth. Do we want to bench the Absol? Probably not yet. I think I'm going to opt to bench the Starly here, just in case our opponent stamps us. We definitely want to have access to another Starly, in case our opponent draws us into a in case our opponent stamps us, it makes it easier for us to pull off another Keen Eye by benching it this turn. And I'm just going to opt to Keen Eye now. I'm going to grab a Bird Keeper. Do I even grab a Bird Keeper this turn is the question. Decisions. I might just go for a Persian and a Recycle Energy. That feels really bad though, just not having access to Bird Keeper. How many comms do we have in deck? We have 2 comms. I think I'm just gonna opt to grab the Recycle Energy and the Bird Keeper to work with. We also have access to Surge in hand, so that's definitely very cool. I think I'm just going to go with this, yeah, because I definitely want to have access to Bird Keeper next turn. If we could have grabbed 3 cards, we would have grabbed Persian, Bird Keeper, and Recycle Energy, but unfortunately we could only grab 2. There's the stamp from our opponent. It didn't matter. Alright, that's fine. Let's see what we draw into here. Surge is good. Galar Mine is a little unfortunate. If our opponent just takes a knockout, we'll have to discard it. There's the greens, however. Alright, that's fine with us. We might just have to research this turn, which doesn't feel great at all, to be honest. Definitely don't want to lose this Galar Mine, because this serves as a way to bump our opponent's Giant Hearth, but I guess it is what it is. Let's see what our opponent grabs off the greens here. They might just opt to go with the High Heat Blast, or they could Flare Starter again to the Break Sard, so let's see what our opponent's line of play is here. They might even opt to grab another stamp. No, there's an Energy Spinner and a Cynthia Caitlin. So it's getting a little bit more tempting to use Meowth to discard all those precious resources from their hand. There's the Energy Spinner from our opponents. There's the Fire Energy. Our opponent probably plays 2 to 3 stamps, so I'm expecting to get stamped again next turn. Wouldn't be terribly unacceptable, to say the least. And yeah. Gonna start off with promoting the Jirachi this turn. There's a Bird Keeper, however. Alright. I think I might just go with the Yell Horn this turn. And force them to possibly Welder onto this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with the Stellar Wish. See what we hit here. There's a Crushing Hammer. Crushing Hammer is actually pretty good here. If we hit heads, it would be pretty cool. So let's play the Crushing Hammer here. We do hit heads, so where do we want to take the energy off of is the question. Let's see. Taking it off of here would mean they would have to attach again. Taking it off of here means they would have to water. I don't know if it really matters. I'm probably just going to take it off the active here. Force them to commit another energy to the active feels pretty good. And I think I'll just probably just go with the Yell Horn here. And how if we make them pay this turn, we can actually discard 7 cards. I think I'm actually going to go for that because that definitely feels very cool. I'm going to quick ball away the Absol here. Probably go for another Meowth. We could go for a Munchlax this turn, which doesn't feel bad at all. But I'm just going to go grab another Meowth because I feel like it. And I'm going to play the Surge here. I'm going to Bird Keeper into a Meowth and to see if we can hit the make 'em pay. It doesn't look like we're drawing that well here. I think I'm just gonna have to research here. Throw away the Labyrinth feels horrible, but I really want to make our opponent pay, and it looks like we whiffed. Oh man, this is really bad now. Maybe I should have just gone with the Keen Eye, but I felt like our chances of hitting it there were pretty likely, and we're just going to be forced to pass here, unfortunately. We do have access to Cynthia and Caitlin next turn, but it just feels really bad that we whiffed there. Our chances weren't even that terrible. It's just sort of unfortunate that our opponent reset stamped us there. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't cost us the game. There's a fire crystal from our opponent. They're going to be able to recover some energies. Only one, however. So I'm glad our opponent played that there. We'll definitely take it. They didn't maximize their value on that crystal, so we'll take it for sure. They welder to the break start, so I'm intrigued to see if they have the brilliant flare. I could have played down the labyrinth, but I felt like leaving an out to recycle energy felt pretty strong last turn. There's the switch from our opponents. Alright, looks like they have the brilliant flare this turn. And now they double switch. Looks like our opponent might go for they opt to go for the flare starter. Alright. That's fine with us. They burnt 2 switches, which is actually pretty huge. And they flare started to the break zone. Alright, that's fine with us. There's a Will. That's not going to do a whole lot right now. Let's play the Cynthia and Caitlin. Get rid of a probably get rid of the Bunnelby. We don't need the bunny right now. Get back a Bird Keeper. Yeah, Bird Keeper feels fine here. And draw 3 cards. Play the Crushing Hammer. Hopefully hit heads here. There's the heads. I feel like discarding the energy off of the active feels pretty good right now. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with, because it removes our opponent's chances of attacking with high heat blast, or it forces them to welder to the active. I feel like that's pretty strong. Let's just get rid of that energy, and we're just going to have to pass to our opponent here. Little unfortunate that we could not use Snack Search for these couple of turns. Maybe I overbenched and could have held off on doing so. But a little too late. So let's see if our opponent has access to another switching option. Yep, definitely interesting. There's a switch from our opponent. Alright. Looks like our opponent's going to be going in with that brilliant flare here, and searching their deck for any 3 cards, putting them into their hand. And hopefully we can go in with the Make 'em Pay this turn. We desperately and really want to do so. And because if our opponent grabs any 3 cards, it's going to be sort of destructive if we can't get rid of them. Ideally, we can Yell Horn them and then Make them pay. That would be the most optimal line of play. I'm intrigued to see it if we get it this turn or not. There are the 3 cards from our opponent. Hopefully we can make them pay this turn and confuse them. But that's a lot of good draws that we need. So hopefully we can hit. There's a Surge, however. I'm going to start off with the Stellar Wish. There are 2 Bird Keepers. Alright, we can play 2 Bird Keepers this turn. This definitely feels really good. Do I Bird Keeper into this Jirachi? I think I do. I'm going to play the Surge here. Going to bench this Jirachi. I'm going to Bird Keeper into this Jirachi here. See, there's a twin. Alright, we have access to a lot of cards. Let's Stellar Wish again. No way to search anything out. Take the Crushing Hammer here. Crushing Hammer can be pretty good. Do we risk going into the Meowth this turn? I think we do. I'm going to Bird Keeper into this Meowth here. See if we draw. There's the Make 'em Pay. There's the Yell Horn as well. Perfect. Let's play the Yell Horn here. Confuse our opponent. We can evolve into the Persian. Remove the confusion. We can attach the Twin Energy. Play the Crushing Hammer. Let's see if this hits heads. It does hit heads. Alright. We're sitting in a really good spot now. Let's use the Make 'em Pay. Discard a bunch of cards from our opponent's hand. Discard the stamp. Get rid of Cynthia and Caitlin. Get rid of this. Alright, we need to let's be careful here. We definitely want to get rid of stamp. That's super annoying. Getting rid of Cynthia and Caitlin feels pretty good here, I would say. That I like getting rid of any. There's just so much ways our opponent can possibly attack next turn. Get rid of the greens for sure. How much energy can we get rid of? Just that much. Do we even mind our opponent stamping us? I think we do. I think getting rid of stamp here is really strong. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, I think this is just the way to go. I think leaving an energy in their hand, I think we sort of have to, with this explosive draw power they have. And yeah, I'm just gonna make him pay here. Get rid of all of those cards. Definitely is going to swing the momentum in this game without a doubt. So let's see if our opponent manages to hit the Brilliant Flare this turn. If they decide to attack, yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see what they do. There is the Big Trump from our opponent onto the active Breaksword. That's fine with us. There's the Tack Call. Looks like our opponent top deck that, and they're gonna have access to a Malone Lana if they play a second one. No, they grab a charge. They grab another Breaksword. That's not a Malone Lana, so I'm definitely not upset with that. They're probably, if they hit heads here, it's not the end of the world. But it's definitely pretty bad. Looks like they're gonna go for it here. Please hit tails. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, that's we really want our opponent to flip here. No, there's the heads. Alright, our opponent's going to be able to KO our active Persian here, grab some more cards out of their deck, probably some more switching options to work with, I would imagine. And then we need to set up another Meowth and Persian as soon as possible. That's going to be what we want to do for sure. Having two Jirachis on board sort of sucks right now, sort of hindering our board state, but having access to two Stellar Wishes that turn was really good. So let's see what our opponent grabs here. Definitely interested to see. They grab 3 cards. All right. Let's see what we can do with this turn. We might have even grabbed a boss in a switch, so they can boss switch and probably gust up a another Meowth we put on the bench. I can see our opponent playing around that option. Let's play the hammer here. Hits tails. Maybe I could have willed there. But willing with the Munchlax this turn feels pretty good. What do we want to do this turn? At this point, I don't want to go into Jirachis anymore because I don't really want to give our opponent access to more prize cards. I'm just going to Cynthia and Caitlin this turn. Cynthia and Caitlin away the Starly. Recover a Bird Keeper here. And see what we draw into. There's a Meowth. No way to get out no way to get out of Meowth. That sort of sucks. I'm just gonna go with the snack search here. We do flip heads, so that's very good. Grabbing. I'm thinking about grabbing a Yell Horn, but if our opponent switches, we can just boss up this Breaksword. Make it so that they have to charge this guy up. So I think the way to go is to just grab a Meowth here, and just set up another Meowth. That feels pretty good with me. We don't have any dolls in the discard pile. I'm assuming our opponent's going to be able to switch out of the active and play that Scoop Up Net they had in hand. Maybe the stronger option would have been to discard all the energies and left the Malone in their hand. No, I'm just thinking about what could we have done differently that turn. To have discard. I feel like getting rid of all those cards was most optimal, because had they played the Cynthia and Caitlin, they would have been able to recover a welder or something like that. There's the boss on our Jirachi, however. Again, that's definitely incorrect. Definitely should have gusted up our Munchlax. I don't understand why players do this. They gust up our Jirachis or Starlies when they really should be targeting our Munchlaxes. So let's see what our opponent grabs here. They unfortunately hit heads again. Our Yell Horns are not doing their job, so our opponent is 2 attacks away from winning the game. Hopefully more like 4 attacks because it's 50-50. But they definitely can win the game in 2 attacks, and it's gonna be our job to hopefully stop them in their tracks from doing so. So I definitely want to set up a make them pay this turn. Let's promote the Jirachi. There's the Meowth that we were talking about. I definitely want to set up 2 Meowths this turn. That feels optimal to me. Stellar Wish here. Take the doll, I guess. And probably bench this Meowth. Bird Keeper into a doll. Let's see if our opponent has access to a boss this turn. That would be sort of unfortunate. And again, no way to set up. We're only down 2 quick balls and 1 calm, and we still didn't draw into a way to set up another Meowth. Had we done so, we would have been able to doll and then promote this doll and then set up 2 Meowths on the bench, which definitely would have been very good for us. But unfortunately, looks like that's not going to happen. So going to go with the snack search here. We do hit heads. All right, that's definitely very good. Probably probably go with the Yell Horn again. I would imagine our opponent's probably going to switch now. So I feel like grabbing the Yell Horn for insurance feels pretty good. So we're going to grab the Yell Horn here and see what our opponent goes for. They might only play 3 switch, and if they do, that's good for us. Our opponent probably grabbed another boss here. They're probably going to boss up the Meowth and go for the greedy Brilliant Flare. No, there's the water from our opponent. We'll take that for sure. Looks like our opponent just might opt to retreat. They might just attach and pay the retreat cost. But then we have, okay, they play the power plant. There's the big charm to the Volcanion. Let's see if our opponent stamps us this turn. That would be one thing that stops. But if they decide to retreat here, we can boss this back up, or boss this back up, and make them pay. So that's definitely a very strong play we can do. Let's see if our opponent decides to attack this turn. No, they decide to retreat, go into this break start, and it looks like they're going to opt to go with the GX attack, I think. Yeah, they're probably gonna go with Crimson Flare here if they made that play. But good thing we recovered the Yell Horn. We definitely played around this, probably without thinking, to be honest. I wasn't expecting them to go with the GX attack, but hey, we expected them to switch, and we're gonna get rewarded for doing so. So, they're gonna GX here, put all of them onto the active here. I'm not sure how I feel about that. No, it looks like they're splitting the energies here. They're taking their time. They attach 2 here. They attach another 2 there. Alright, let's see where they attach the other one. They attach another one here. Alright. That's definitely an interesting route to go. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm going to boss up this break zard. Well, I guess they can just retreat now, can't they? Huh. That sort of sucks. Boss up this break zard. I think I'm still gonna make them pay though. Yeah. Fortunately, we don't have a way to draw into Absol. Drawing into Absol here. If we had Absol, we could have made it so they would have had to pay 1 more to retreat. But now we're sort of in a sticky situation. Because we don't have any access to any way to make it so that they cannot retreat. I'm gonna evolve into the Persian here. I still feel like making them pay can seal the deal for us. Yeah, I think them paying the retreat cost is going to cost them the game. So I still feel like going for the make them pay here might just make it checkmate. So I'm going to go with the Yell Horn here. Unfortunately, we didn't have access to Surge. Had we had access to Surge, we could have also Bird Keepered and made it so, and given us more access to draw, and we probably could have hit an Absol or something like that off of the Bird Keeper. So I'm gonna bench the doll here and just go for the make him pay and hope for the best here. So we're gonna make him pay here. Let's see, get rid of the boss. They don't have any energies in hand. That is something to note. Get rid of the net. Get rid of the welder, scrapper, and yeah, I think those are the strongest choices. All the other cards are pretty dead in my opinion. So we're gonna make him pay here. Unfortunately, our opponent can just Brilliant Flare this turn and actually just search out whatever they need in order to win the game. How can we prevent this? We definitely need to boss next turn. We can recover the boss with the Pal Pad and go for the Pokégear, I guess. That feels pretty good with me. Let's see what our opponent decides to do. If they retreat, we're gonna boss this back up, and hopefully they don't have access to a boss and a way to switch. So they're gonna retreat here into the Volcanion. Actually, that's definitely an interesting decision. They're gonna High Heat Blast, okay, and now we need to boss this back up and hope for the best. That's gonna be our game plan here. Promote the doll here. They might actually be out of bosses. That would be really good for us. No, we top deck boss. That's really good actually. Not gonna lie. We're gonna boss up this Breaks Art here, and hopefully they do not have a way to retreat it. They've already used their GX attack, so hopefully this sticks in the active for a few turns. And let's go with the Snack Search here. Our opponent definitely can still win the game if they have the resources left to work with. Their hand was pretty dead. Did they grab anything off of the Pokégear? They attached the Heat Fire energy. That's fine with us. There's the Great Potion onto the Break Star, that's fine. Our opponent is down quite a bit of energies here. If they attach another energy, we definitely want to hammer that off, so we're actually only down to 4 cards in deck. That's something to note as well. I think I'm going to go with the Will here and guarantee the hammer. I think that sounds really good to me. I'm going to play the Will here. Probably just go with the Snack Search and guarantee the hammer. Because if our opponent has 3 energies left in deck and can retreat, that's going to be really troublesome for us to work with. I'm going to grab the hammer here. And yeah, if our opponent has Welder 2 energies, they take the, if they Welder, if our opponent Welders, they cannot boss in the same turn. So even if they have a way to retreat this turn, they still haven't won the game. We're definitely in a little bit danger zone of decking out, but we have access to Wills, we have access to Pal Pad. I'm feeling pretty confident here. There's a quick ball from our opponent, getting rid of a Volcanion. This is gonna be sort of close. They failed it. They failed the quick ball. Let's see, just a pass. All right, that's fine with us. I think I'm just gonna go with the Will and guarantee the hammer. I think that feels pretty good to me. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for the hammer here. Play it a little bit safe. Flip the heads, get rid of the heat fire energy here. Hold off on doing anything else, to be honest. We could bench the other Munchlax. That could be pretty good as well. We could also set up another Persian, but I feel like that's sort of unnecessary at this point. No, I think we hold off on doing anything, to be honest. I'm just gonna go with the Snack Search here. We do flip Tails, unfortunately, but again, we have access to Pal Pad. So in case we're ever close to decking out, we can shuffle back in 2 Wills and start chaining those Wills, like I said in the intro. So that's really good. And I think our opponent's just out of resources. I think we've got them here, but they might still have some crystals left in deck. But again, they have to Welder the same turn. Our opponent has to Welder. They have to find a way to switch and a way to boss. I honestly feel like getting a way to set up another person feels pretty nice. Maybe. I'm gonna play the Ordinary Rod here, shuffle 2 Pokemon, and I'll get back a Meowth and a Persian. I'm going to Bird Keeper into another doll, and I feel like setting up this Persian here sort of makes it so that we have checkmate. Just in case our opponent sort of stockpiles their hand, we can make them pay in the very last turn, and hopefully steal the game. I feel like this is okay to do. I'm gonna go with the Snack Search here. We do flip Tails, unfortunately, but again, we have access to Pal Pad. We can Will. It's fine. Our opponent again might play 4 switches, so our opponent still could steal this game from us. We do have to be careful. So there's the tag call. They failed it last time. They didn't, in just a pass. All right, I'm gonna go with the Snack Search again. See what we get. Another tail, so we're gonna have to probably Pal Pad next turn. Guarantee the Wills. Yeah, that's probably what we're gonna have to do. There's the greens. Do they have what they need to seal the game? They failed the greens, which makes me think they don't have access to anything. There's the attachment to the active. They could Welder theoretically next turn. Take a KO on the doll. That's a little bit scary. I'm gonna go with the Pal Pad here. Shuffle back in both Wills, for sure. And I don't even think I'm gonna Snack Search here, to be honest. I think we can evolve into the Persian. Attach this Recycle Energy here. We can even Pokégear actually. Go for the Will. Do we want to guarantee the flip here? I feel like we sort of kind of do. So no, we can hold off on doing that. Let's go with the Snack Search again. We do flip Tails again, unfortunately. I guess I'm sort of misplaying here. I feel like we could be making a stronger plays here, but now we can go with the Will here. We can use Snack Search, guarantee the heads. We're gonna shuffle back in Pal Pad here instead of another lone Will, because Pal Pad guarantees us like more Wills to work with instead of just 1 Will. So that feels pretty optimal to me. Let's see what our opponent has going for them this turn. We actually have access to Bunnelby. So getting a Bunnelby here could be pretty good. There's the Pokégear. They do fail the Pokégear. Things are closing in here. So let's probably just play the Will here. Play the Will. Use the snack search. Choose heads. Probably just guarantee the bunny, I think. Because in a few turns we'll be able to mill them out. I think I'm just going to go for I think I'm just gonna go for a Galar Mine here, to be honest. I guess that's what I'm gonna go with here. Maybe that was a little bit of a misplay. No, it's not. We have Air Balloon. I'm thinking that if we need to remove the recycle energy off of the Persian, we can attach the Air Balloon, and just actually retreat the Persian, since it has since it will have 3 retreat costs. We still have to pay the recycle, and then we can utilize that recycle for the Bunnelby. That's gonna be our game plan here. Going to play the Pal Pad here, shuffle back and double Will, and yeah, and there's the concession from our opponent. They didn't have anything left, and that's gonna do it for the games, or the game with Starly Control. My commentary started messing up near the end there, but hopefully you got the gist of it. If you did enjoy the video, please do remember to like and subscribe, and as always, remember to stay safe and have a good day, and peace out.